What opportunities has this created for IP lawyers? So all of you want to know that. So this is a huge trend in the world of content, movie, music, and all of that. But what difference has it made for IP lawyers, right? So one is that there is a drastic increase in the number of media contracts that are being executed, okay, and that they deal with intellectual property. So content development, distribution, monetization, consultancy, freelance contracts, employment contracts, profit sharing and joint development agreements, investment agreements, satellite rights agreement, and so on. Like, could go on and on about all the different types of contracts. So normally media contracts, whatever was there, now because there are more and more projects, there are a lot more contracts being signed, a lot more lawyers are needed to work on this. So if earlier there was one, imagine like even during the Christmas time, which is a very high, like a lot of people watching movies or special Eid release or Diwali release, only how many movies could release, right? There was a number limitation on how many movies could be made and how many movies could be taken to market. Now there is no cap on that, because I mean, it's not like only 3 movies can be released during Diwali release or in the theaters, right? Yeah, a 4th or 5th movie will really have a very hard time finding a screen at all, and it may not be profitable because other blockbusters are taking up the space. Not now. Now you can release it on Netflix and recover your money, and Netflix will pay you enough. And Netflix has unlimited viewers, and the more content they add, more money they can make. So they don't mind, right, having more and more movies. But because of the increase in content creation, then you have content development, distribution, all these content development contract. Imagine a movie is being made, how many people are working on it? Each of them, sometimes thousands of people work on a movie or a series. All of them have employment contracts and different kinds of contracts. They are doing different things. Most of them are not employees. They are having contracts, a business contract, and they are having freelance contract, consultancy contract, people shooting, people editing, people arranging a set. A lot of money is being spent. These are contracts that people are spending crores of rupees on a contract, right? Profit sharing between different people who are producers, who are financing a movie or a series, joint development agreements, and all sorts of agreements, and financing agreements, taking loans, all of that. So huge number of agreements, media contracts, work is coming up. It was never at this kind of situation, was never there, right? So then there are the work related to production of content licenses, like music synchronization, adaptation, biographical story is being adapted, so you are paying those people, then you need a contract with them, then image licenses, just a lot of work, okay? Then there are compliance concerns, right? Mostly as self-regulation, but you can get sued, or there can be like protests or riots if all the time, and people, many movies are being taken to the court, as you might have noticed, right? So many movies have been Padmavat and whatnot, like every other movie people are taking to court saying that no, this should not be released, and so on, right? Then there are laws, actually laws are there which are saying that you cannot violate this law. For example, showing smoking or drinking alcohol on screen can attract legal liability. Well, sometimes it may not be applicable. Some of the regulations may not be applicable to the the OTTs, but even then they want to comply because they don't want to create controversy, or they don't want to go to court. Sometimes even the stand-up comedian is saying something and somebody will file a case about that, right? Somebody will create a big problem on social media over that. So then before releasing any of these things, there are lawyers literally going through all the content and vetting from a legal point of view that yes, this content is fine and it can be released, right? If you end up with a defamation suit or setting off a riot over some content, that could be legally and otherwise expensive. So vetting of all content by lawyers has become the norm, generating a lot of work for lawyers. Imagine a team of lawyers going through an entire movie or a series and actually, or a stand-up comedy, everything. Like all the content has to be approved before it is actually delivered. Okay. Okay. Then there is taxation of intellectual property, tax compliance, taxation of international income, because all these OTT things are very international business. You know, like Money Heist is a good example. Maybe Mirzapur is very popular in Africa, or it gets popular in China. And we had Dangal made a lot of money in China, right? So it is like content has no boundary, right? A lot of people here in India today watching Korean movies. Indian movies are being watched in other countries. Okay. So people are liking that. And that is becoming huge because there is, you know, it's international income, international opportunities, right? And there are a lot of legal work around this international aspects of these things. And I'll tell you more later on what kind of international work is there. Lawyers are being called on to protect copyright and trademark. In the OTT world, a series made in India could have viewers in China, USA, Australia, or even Sub-Saharan Africa. And there's a huge NRI community all across the world who want to watch this content. But now imagine, you know, this is real cases. Like one of our students, you know, we have a, you know, we have IP and media law course. One of our students is legal. I don't take the name of the company, but she's a she's the legal head of a OTT, right? And she actually had this case where one of her, like, you know, something that they sold license to a to one TV channel in Africa, in Ghana or some country, I don't remember exactly. And another channel started showing the same thing without taking any license from where nobody knows. It's a piracy. So, you know, they were trying to figure out how to enforce this in that country. And it's a big headache for an Indian lawyer to go, you know, how do we enforce this in an African country? Do I have the network? Do I know the right people? How do I do this? It's not easy, right? What is the law there? But this is how it is. You have to enforce your, you have to protect your copyright and trademark, because see, it is possible, right? Like Money Heist is so popular that you might even want to buy a t-shirt or a mug with Money Heist written on it, or with the professor or the Dali face mask or whatever, right? Now, this is a huge market, and I'll tell you later on, merchandising is a huge market, and it's like a $300 billion market worldwide. Okay. So now if you want to protect, but if you can't protect it, right? In India, some random website might start selling this thing without taking any license, right? So can you protect your trademark and all of those rights in that case, right? Very important.